Premier. 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 Premier.
Oh, baby, we are ready to go. We are in shape and ready to make it happen tonight. Wild day. Like, it's going to be, I think it got to like 77, 78 this morning or this evening. And now it's going to be in the fucking 50s and mid 30s tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to suck.
Yeah, and it looks like rain this weekend too.
Yeah, bad time for the rain to come.
Oh, brutal.
Nice thing is it's just, at least it's in the plex. Half inch of rain down, half inch of rain in May is better than half inch of rain in April. So they say.
Is it nice that it's not like, I mean,
No, it's going to be fucking 72.
Yeah.
Cold, and it's probably going to be in the 60s in the morning. It's not going to be nice.
No, it doesn't sound fun.
I'm not happy about the rain. I'm hoping it doesn't rain.
You look it though, like you look very, you look energetic about it. To be honest with you.
Well, I'm gonna get tons of energy coming over here, but you go down Friday night, and it's, if you notice, it's like 50% rain. It's not like it's gonna get rained out. It's not like, well, there's gonna be barely any rain. It's like just enough rain. Just enough not gonna rain where they're not gonna cancel it, and then it's just enough rain that when you get to the field, it's gonna start raining, and they're just gonna keep playing all day, and you're just gonna play in the rain all day.
It's gonna be a nuisance.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is going to be a nuisance.
Newest forecast for Brantford, Connecticut is 67 degrees, 58% chance of rain. We're up to 0.96 inches.
0.96 is.
Yeah, I can tell you what that looks like.
Twice.
Yeah. An inch of rain is not great.
If at least it's not snow, because an inch of rain equates a foot of snow.
I've heard that.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say. Yeah. The best people say it.
Is that a scientific fact?
It is much like much like the narwhal tooth not actually being a horn.
Yeah, right through the face.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh well, this is gonna be I think this is going to be a shit show. Welcome to Bring It. Yeah, I don't. This is a way to go tonight. We were talking league backstage, even though only one of us really plays in it anymore. Corey will show up eventually back to league.
I was gonna go tomorrow. Bye week.
Corey, oh, Jesus Christ, it's gonna be fucking 40 degrees. You could have hit a home run.
Okay, probably not.
And I just make fun of the rules that you guys make still.
I love it.
You care about the league much more than I do.
Yeah.
No, I like looking at it and I like following along. I thought it was crazy that each player can only test 3 bats.
Correct. Per round.
Yeah, per round.
Yeah.
That's like close to 50 bats per team. But you're allowed to just pass them on. Like it was like I'm like, why? Like, how many teams have gone and tested 100 bats?
How many? Okay, so how many
Never.
players were up there
I can
with
tell you right
12?
now, never.
Stop it.
Yeah,
I
no,
used
I
to
think
go
the-
up with 4 or 5 bats. You
Yeah, it
were up
doesn't
there with a
bother me.
handful.
Not every single team is going up there with. Not every single guy is going up there with 4 or 5 bats.
Agreed. It's the key, and I'll tell you what, it streamlined the process. It made everything nice and quick. Don't roll your eyes at me, sir. We
What-
didn't
what
have
are
a
you
40-minute
talking about?
wait. Come on, the last few
I've never
testings.
waited. I've never waited that
That's
long.
because you cut right in the front, and you're always there
Yeah,
at
no.
BP in the
I'm
beginning.
there first.
He's
Yeah,
up
exactly.
first, and he needs to get his bat tested because he's at the other field.
Right?
This is- yeah,
Listen,
I
I
mean,
follow the rules.
smart.
Hayes. Come on. No,
Well-
I think I bet if you were to take, it's the same amount of bats. It's the same amount of bats. If I have 5 bats and that guy has 0, I'm going to give 2 to that guy and he's going to get in line.
I'll tell you what, though, it's really not. Like, you're not seeing it. You're not seeing the same amount of bats as we were seeing last year.
I think.
I'm just
I think you
saying.
Think that.
Yeah, I don't know why you have such a problem with this, but in a tournament when you can only have 20 bats, there's nothing wrong with it.
What I said is I think it's just an arbitrary rule. I think it's like why even make the rule? That's all I was saying. Like I don't
faster.
have a
And
problem with it, but it's not though. Like
And now you don't have a guy who already has had three bats tested being like, oh, I just got another one. I need to test that now too.
but you can't do that this year, which I
Right,
like.
that's what I'm- Right, okay, well,
I
I,
like
think
the fact-
that's give the number 3, fine. And
But
now
it-
you don't
but
have
that has
people going
nothing
up
to do
6
with-
bats.
Yeah, but that has nothing to. The number of bats is what I'm telling you is the number of bats doesn't make a difference.
But
If I have
because
6
you're not
bats, I'm
coming up.
gonna give my.
But you're
3
only
to a
going up with the
teammate.
3 bats that you know are passing. You're not coming up with all 6, 7 bats saying,
If
"Oh,
a
I
guy
hope all these
on my
pass."
team doesn't have bats, I'm gonna give him the bats regardless.
Okay, that's
Right?
fine.
Like, why not? I'm just saying, like, I don't think the number of bats is going to change. I do like the idea of only having like 2 testings per round. That makes sense.
This is something that we
That's
can
gonna
very,
make it better.
very clearly look and see how many bats were tested last year and how many bats get tested this year.
You think they
That's
took?
true.
Yeah,
They took them.
they
I
wrote
don't
that
know
down?
where they ended up, but they
I have
they
this
were
year's
taken.
sheets.
No, I'm
But
talking
anyway-
last year. You think you have last?
Yeah, last year
year's
there
sheets?
was sheets. I don't have last year's sheets. There was.
I
They
can
were
tell
taking
you-
them down.
I tested a couple of bats last year, and there was no sheet anywhere.
All right, there we go.
So I can tell you that those numbers will be skewed.
Well, D Money, what's happening? What's
Yeah,
in that salty
yeah.
water you're drinking over there?
It's not salt. I thought it was an arbitrary rule. I have a Future Glow, a session IPA from Burlington.
Future
Beer.
Glow.
Yeah.
From
and
where?
then-
Burlington?
Yep. And then I have a Vortex from Spyglass on deck.
Ooh, nice start.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and I also so
Talk to me.
long
Sounds like you
story.
got something
Not
on
going to
your
get
mind.
into it. I have some edibles now, like
Love it.
medical
Oh,
edibles.
love it even more.
So I got these drinks. Okay,
Mm.
these drinks
What
they're
size?
just like 16-ounce drinks. I would say
No, what
there's
Oh,
100
strength.
there's 100 milligrams in each one.
Oh, fuck Christ, dude. Jesus,
So
fuck.
I took a sip. I took 2 sips on Sunday, and I was like, I took 1 sip tonight. So we'll see how this goes.
This is like you're pouring out shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally,
Well,
like
for
you have to
people like-
measure the 1 ounce.
Yeah. For people who don't need medical marijuana, yes.
That would be me.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, this is a recreational sport for me. But yeah,
Oh.
my goodness. The drinks, but they have the craziest stuff. They've got like the candy bars, right?
Yeah.
The ones
The
that,
mushrooms?
that you get. No. The THC candy.
This is all
bars.
weed. Okay.
Yeah. You get them recreational in mass, and I think it's like 100 milligrams.
Yeah.
These ones are either 350 or 1,000. Like,
Fly me
Yeah.
to the moon.
Oh,
Yeah,
I would have
that's
moved
what I
for
was
a
thinking. I
fucking
was
week.
like, yeah, if I had anywhere near like 300 milligrams, like a third of 1,000 milligram THC bar, I don't know if you'd be able to get me up off the floor. Like I would be like have you seen a pancake before?
But then you think about some of the people that we know, and like they'd be like, that was a nice little snack. Ready to have more
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
That weirds me out. I can't
Yeah.
I can't wrap my head around it.
the fact that the whole milligram thing, like it's a vast range
Mm-hmm.
is kind of
It's-
wild.
Well, I have that 25 milligram one that we got, and I still have it in the what's it called, in the fridge. And oh my God! Like and I'm a fat man, right? I enjoy snacking. I enjoy imbibing. I usually do things a little too big, and sometimes I'll take too big of a gulp or too many of them, and I'm just fucking out. Like I'm just done. Because I drink
Yeah.
half of a 25 milligram, and I'm usually a 5 to 10 max. 10's my max.
Oh, we got to get you a little bit. You need a 20 milligram night. We got to
Jared,
get
know
you out
yourself.
there and see what
Don't let him
happens.
talk you into this. It's not. He doesn't care how bad it gets for you because he doesn't have to live it.
Well,
He's trying to
here's
trick you.
when I was during COVID, and we were still working. I was still working at my old agency. I went down to Mass and got a pre-roll. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I used to smoke a lot in college. I'm like, tis the season. So I grabbed the pre-roll. I'm like, what's a joint? I used to smoke joints all the time. Like, usually there's people with you, but I'm like, fuck it. I smoke half of that thing. I was higher than high. And I proceeded to then, we drink daiquiris all day. I proceeded to get butt naked because I was hot. I got butt naked, went upstairs into our bedroom. I told Amanda to come up because it was great. I had the AC going and I was just spread eagle, booty facing right up.
So
She's like, what the fuck?
I don't think that's the first time I've heard a story where that is the outcome for you.
I like it.
Going
Like,
upstairs, getting
like
in the
getting
dark,
naked.
AC on, naked.
Well, my
it's almost
thing used to
AC
be,
season.
it's after tomorrow, hopefully.
So close.
When I was 21 and I was down on the Jersey Shore working, I used to get shit-faced, and my grandmother found me twice, passed out in her bathroom on the tile floor, completely fucking naked.
The tiles were probably nice and cool for you.
Oh, the bathroom was my favorite place to pass out on the Jersey Shore when I was down there. Oh, it's great. So, Coco, what's happening? What you drinking?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing as cool as you guys right now. I just have a bubble hop from Treehouse. Just
Okay.
yeah.
What's that? What is it?
This is
NA?
the Mosaic. So
Is that
it's just NA sparkling with a Mosaic for the hop for this one. I got the sample, but I have it. We all had our trip.
You got
where
yours
we-
too.
Yeah, we wound up like going 1, 2, 3 at Bert's last week, and I was talking to him, and bam, I got a koozie for the show. So it's good to be.
What
about you?
Yeah, that was a solid start of an inning with us going into Bert's. I'm all over the place today. I just had a Pilsner from Foam. I'm on to a hazy IPA with Great Notion, and I have another Great Notion on deck. That's a sour, and then I have a Prairie Artesian ales on deck as well.
How do you
see
like
you-
those Prairie
You have it mine.
Artesian?
Perfect.
Depends on the one, but I will drink anything from them at any time. I've had one I didn't like, and I think it was the mango guava one.
Gotcha. I find them to be pretty expensive.
The 12-ounce cans
As far
is
as
that the one?
for a 12-ounce can, yeah. Most of them are either 12 or they do a 12-ounce bottle. And I want to say that
this little guy.
I've seen
Yeah, this is
them.
not the one I like.
Okay. Shouldn't have got that
Perfect.
one. this is the one, and it's not the one I like.
Blech.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I'm actually gonna hammer this one now.
Because it's always like one of those things where it's like, do I buy this? if it's, you know what I mean? If it's it's a weird sour, which can be like close to one of my favorite beers, or
Mhm.
could be like, this is disgusting. I don't want.
Yeah, it can go. It can go.
You
the
know what I
wrong
mean?
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of variants, much like the milligrams in THC, which I wanted to get back to.
Let's go. I just wanted to do the introductions because I
I
like
like
yeah,
where this
and I,
story's
based
going.
on
and I
that,
forgot
so.
all about them, so that it's working pretty good. So far.
So you had the right
Exactly.
amount tonight.
Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome to Weed Talk with Bring It.
Imagine that sort of range in like other things, like alcohol, right?
But I mean,
Like you,
Well, there
or,
is.
or
yeah,
like,
we have that.
I understand that, but like the people who just are there people out there drinking like 10 times the amount in the same can?
Oh,
Like high
You know what I mean?
percentage.
Like,
Wouldn't it be like
okay,
a high
this is
ABV?
Yeah, this is a 7.6.
Like
percent?
Josh just crushing 13%.
fucking
But I'm not
9
even
o'clock on
saying
a
that.
Sunday night.
Yeah. Right, but is that
Um,
10 times like what somebody so
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I
Like
know what you're saying.
that would be like drinking 16 ounces of hard alcohol or hard liquor in the same time that I'm drinking
Mhm.
just one beer.
So I'm thinking of one of our new fans of the show, Maddie Ratty. I'm thinking of her home state where you got those moonshiners down in Kentucky. So you get the boys down there running the shine across the border. You get them down in Tennessee. You know, now they're drinking that moonshine. That's about what 110 proof. That's all alcohol.
Make you go.
You know what I
blind.
mean? So like I think that's I do understand what you're saying. We're not seeing as much of a variant as we're seeing in you know
Like
weed,
But
but like yeah, I think
Think about if you had a triple IPA while someone else is having a Bud Light. Wouldn't that kind of be close?
that's like double, right?
but it's
No.
no.
You'd be looking a triple IPA at 10 to 12% compared to a Bud Light at 4.2. Three
Right.
times as much. Yours is probably a 16
but it doesn't
ounce as
have
well.
the same. But it's not the same effect, right? Like,
If I had a 12% right now, I'd
True.
fucking
Well,
rock.
well, I guess it would be to that point of feeling good but not feeling horrible.
Sure.
you're not gonna
Right,
go.
that's
but
what
you're
we're
not gonna
trying to
go.
get to. So it
Is
gonna
it a
be different
barley
than
wine?
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, like is the barley wine? Is that when you started seeing like 15, 16 percenters? Is that where you're seeing 25 milligram Celsius? Is that what it is? But I don't think it gets as extreme. There is the different levels. It's not as extreme in alcohol.
And you
as
won't,
it is in-
and
Yeah.
I don't think you'll see the 16%ers at the softball field the way that you'll see someone have 25 milligrams at the softball
come,
field.
come to our cooler.
Yeah,
I see people walking around with 25 milligrams Celsius at the field, just
right.
sipping them like they're a fucking tea, and I'm like,
you guys are wild.
How
you
is
get
that
home?
done? Yeah.
hey.
It's crazy.
So
It's a science experiment at that point.
we got something in the on the Bring It hotline, by the way. We got a text that came up on Bring It hotline. A couple things came up. First off, the Bring It hotline, as you can see here, boom, right there, 860-352-5469. So we were talking about that conference where you can't step out of the box anymore.
Yes.
That was brought up. That was dropped pretty damn quick. I think it was dropped before the beginning of the year. So, gone.
That's a what?
They held
why did
strong
they
to
drop
that. Good.
because people
There-
bitched.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine being like, we're up in arms about this rule. We want it taken out for just stepping out of the box in a like in just any sort of, oh, he threw two balls, I'm going to call timeout and make him think about this pitch a little bit more,
Yeah, please do.
because that's usually what it is, right?
Yeah. I'm okay. And like I think after I like the rule if there's you get one timeout per AB. I mean, fuck, do you really need it? But you get it, or if after, if you need it after a strike or whatever it is. But I think one timeout per AB, but just stay the fuck in the box. Like I'm thinking about last night, or even in the tournaments. Like I will never come out of a box. D, I watch you. You don't come out the box.
Every once
I
in a
mean,
while.
you do
yeah.
every once in a while, but like I would say 80% of the time you're in there and it doesn't matter. It could be a 2-0.
I also- Yeah, I also foul the first one off. I'm out of the box.
That's
and
the
taking
only
my
time I would leave the box, I think. is-
Yeah.
Well, that's
foul
it.
one off.
Ball out of play, you get to
But-
reset.
I also will take like a step towards first. I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally not in the box anymore at that point.
Right. I mean, you put the ball in play. It's not like you're just standing there. Most of the time, D, what I'm saying is if you're standing there and you're not swinging, you're not stepping out. Most of the time, majority.
Because you could essentially call timeout every single pitch. Step
Mhm.
out of the box. Like there's no rule against that.
Wild. But yeah, so that came in because
Very
we
long
had brought that up on D. When were we on Friday night? Yeah. And then we got something we didn't get the chance to bring up last week. Something. This is a text. I've been seeing a lot of posts in different softball groups. What are your thoughts on paying players? Do you think there's specific classification where this would seem ridiculous, aka C and below? Are there agreements, are there agreements you think would make sense that would be focused on performance? If you are against paying players, is there an alternative for incentivizing players to play for a certain team? And this was a hot button topic. Thanks for sending that in, by the way, whoever you are. I love that Google voice. It comes in, that text. It's anonymous unless you put your name with it. I fucking love that. But this was a hot button topic last week. We saw a lot of it. I guess, D or Coco, what do you guys think? Well, let you guys lead it off.
I don't. It's not my money, so I guess what a person wants to do, if they want to pay him, whatever. I'd say it shouldn't be common at C in my head, but I don't think I have any other. I think that's just an arbitrary. I had to pick a letter. I think once you start looking at the teams that are made up of guys that are from a little bit further away,
Which
then it starts. Then it's like, I'm getting you there. That's what I'm paying you. I think that seems. I would still consider, if someone's paying for my flight, paying for my hotel, that to me is I'm not paying $1.
See,
right. Yeah.
I actually don't agree with that.
Okay.
But I'll tell you why. I understand the thought process, and I don't disagree with that thought process. I look at that like, hey, some teams could have great big budgets. Some teams have the ability because of sponsorship to cover hotels, maybe cover flights, whatever it is. I don't view that as being paid to play. I think that's unbelievable that you have that kind of budget and you have that ability to do it for players. Again, this is a fucking hobby. I think probably once we start looking at higher up type teams, I really think, I would say B, but when I'm thinking of a B team, I'm thinking more like a conference B team. I think when you're starting to play in these conference events, I think that's probably it. I don't know. It's good for you if you can get paid to play.
Yeah, 100%, right? But I think it's something that we probably don't come across much in the Northeast, and I could be completely wrong, because I've never been paid.
I've never been off. Shockingly,
No.
that I'd be the guy to be getting paid. But
I actually offered to pay.
But it's yeah. So I don't think we would see a whole ton of it. I do think it's, Jero, like you said, I think it starts to come in at the conference level.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You could see some of it from, and it would probably be in situations where you have a a regional B team, and then you have a guy who you need to make a move. You need to bring on a guy or whatever, and he's from way outside. You're flying him in with everybody else, but he's from a different part of the country. Maybe that guy's you're paying that guy, and I don't even know why I would say from a different part of the country. That's how I view it. You know what I mean? Like you're paying you have this guy who has no connection to this team outside of maybe one or two guys. You know what I mean?
Like I'm thinking straight envelopes, right? Like that's what I'm thinking of when we're talking about paying players. And I think if you are paying players, and just getting to one of the latter questions here, I think it should be incentivized on. Depends on what it is, right? I don't think it should be, if the team wins, you get a couple bucks. If you perform well, which, let's say if you're paying somebody, you better hit 775 every tournament. So if you're hitting over that,
is there a number? Is there a number? That's your number. Hey,
I'm not I'm saying if I would look at my team, let's say my team's hitting collectively 750 and we need somebody else to put us over the top. I know if you're hitting 750 as a team, you're going to be winning more games than not. Then it's 800.
Love to see that.
You know what I mean?
50.
But okay, so everybody's at 700. You need to be 100 points higher than the team average, whatever it is.
Yeah. Right,
think
because then it gets
we-
into the fact like, well, why aren't I just paying these guys?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think position also, like if it's a catcher, yeah, they need to hit 750, 800, and they need to be able to step in there and just hit the ball out. But if it's a center fielder or a pitcher, I think you might be able to take a little bit lower of a batting average if they're going pitcher, especially. But a center fielder can completely control a game depending on now you can put a right fielder out there who is more of the hitter than the defensive side of it too. So I think there are some
Look
differences.
at John
there.
John. Look at John John as a center fielder.
Right.
Like, you know, like speaking to exactly what you're saying there, Corey. Like defensively, John John, I mean, he does some stupid shit out there,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. So I did do a little bit of research
Ooh, I like
and I
that.
looked up some of these things. How much do you guys think that people are getting paid? Because I went into some of these
threads.
these Facebook posts that I was seeing. And there were people from the conference, like, and from all over. Like, guys are getting paid in EDC. It almost, I think it came down to, in a lot of the situations, it came down to like they needed a guy
Yeah.
for the weekend or whatever. They needed someone to come out in those like lower, like the ED and C. It was like they needed a guy. I went out for $100 or something.
Couldn't they have found a person like in the parking lot wearing jeans for an e-tournament?
Listen to you.
I mean,
I'm a big C chip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
making
Like,
fun
I
of the
would
E guys.
say if you're paying for a tournament, and this is kind of where I'm going to go back on what I was saying a little bit, Coco. I think like gas money per diem, because I don't think that's included. Like when I think of like sponsorship, I'm thinking of flights, hotels covered.
Okay.
Right?
Cars.
I would say, yeah, cars like that, those types of things. Somebody's not paying for my gas or me to drive to the Plex tomorrow or Saturday, whatever it is. So I would say gas money, maybe a couple bucks of food, you know, and then some money on top of that. You know, what's that looking like? 100 to 250 in that ballpark, I think. Is that what it is? Coco, what do you think?
I don't know. I never had to worry about it because I know it's never being offered. I don't know. I think gas money to me might be just kind of to get me to show up. I don't think I would look at gas money as paying me to play. I think that
Right. So how much on top of that? So like, what's the number looking like?
I
That's
mean,
where I
if the-
came up to like that 250, 300
gotcha.
number.
I mean, a guy maybe around here, I could see like the 250, 300. But when you're talking, Dustin, you had brought up conference and everything. The rumors about those guys was always, I mean, that's their full-time job. That's what they're being paid. I didn't know they're doing other stuff, but they're getting money every tournament as well.
I mean, they also have bats. Some of them also have the bat portion of it.
Yeah,
Right?
I
I'm
would
talking on
love
top
to.
of
You're
the-
just on, yeah. Okay.
on top of as a sponsor, they're getting paid to show up to that tournament. And I think they're probably getting 1-2K. And that's
A tournament.
Yeah. I could
I-
see that for like the
so-
top
Okay.
guys. 'Cause
Yeah, I
there's
think.
there's so much trying to pull guys now.
Yeah.
So you have
Yeah.
to give them it.
So in the one that I had read, I think Jason Branch said that in his prime he made like 2,000 a tournament.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
That's a rough weekend.
Now, was that
I think
was
that's
that
alleged.
allegedly? Let's
Yeah.
get back to that one. Allegedly,
I did
was
research,
that just
but I
on
just
top
looked
of it?
at it and I was like, "Oh, interesting."
Yeah.
Um,
Was that
it-
incentivized or was it just straight cash?
I think that is just straight, probably, because yeah. I mean, I don't think there are a lot of those guys, especially at the conference level. You don't get to the conference like that, who are just going to show up and get the envelope and then just not
Yeah.
play well.
Right.
And I think that the
Jesus.
post that I had looked up
Yeah.
was something like, would you show up if would you actually play or leave if they told you they were going to pay and then they didn't have the money for you?
Yeah.
And most people said that they would just play anyway.
Oh.
But I mean, it was an interesting question. I was like, oh,
I
I think I'd leave.
I would.
You guys are assholes.
Oh, the guy that said they were going to pay me is an asshole.
Right, but
That's any job. You say, hey, can you come over? You pay the lawn people come over. They take care of your lawn. And at the end, you're like, psych, not going to pay you. Like that was that person who gave up their weekend. We've talked so much about how much time you would give up in that situation. So now I'm flying to Texas. You told me you're going to give me money. I show up and you're like, checks in the mail.
what if it's a random tournament that someone's like, hey, we really need a guy. I'll give you $100 to show up at Martell.
I
Depends
think
on
maybe
who's
the
the team.
less of the offer, the more likely I might play. But I also don't want to look like a punk where you can just lie to me and tell me you're going to do something. I mean, I'm going to look like a punk anyway for a multitude of levels.
It's just so
I get
many
that.
people. Like, because then you're
Coco
like,
the
oh,
punk.
there's the guy that wanted to get paid and he's leaving.
They told me they had $5 for me. God damn it.
The whole team's like, well, geez, thanks. Now we can't play because that guy just left.
I think it's different. I think it's if it's a local tournament, $100. I mean, your buddies aren't going to pay you. So like, I would if my buddies if you know one of you guys called me in 20 minutes and was like, hey, we need a guy. Okay, cool. I'll come down there. But if it's some team that's like, hey, we'll pay you $100, you don't get the cash. I've said this multiple times. I kind of like hanging out with my wife, you know, like, and I play enough softball. We have enough softball here. Like, we do a lot of this shit. I don't need to fucking hang out at the field again for some random guys for $100. Like,
Right.
my time's worth more than that.
Yeah, and I'd have to think that I'm not being offered money to play with a bunch of my friends.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, the only way I'm staying if I'm not getting paid is I'm with my buddies and my buddies aren't paying me.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, absolutely. I
I'm
think
just
we
living
agree.
in somebody's cooler. Like, that's what I'm doing. Like, okay, pay me in beer. Like, there you go. I'm living in your cool. I'm not bringing beer. You're buying the beer, but you're with your boys. So like, that's a different thing. Crazy though. $2,000 a tournament.
Yeah. And there was talks about people a couple of years ago, like getting signed for like 100, 150. I think again, that's
I
all
heard
alleged,
those too.
but we heard
allegedly.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's insane.
Well, here's the thing on top of it, right? With Branch, allegedly, he has a bat, so he's getting paid. He's getting the portion of his bat deals.
So
You know,
yeah,
however they work those out. But and then another, like, that's their full-time job.
yeah, I was interested to see like what is the actual royalties that they get on bats. I'd be interested to talk to someone about that.
That'd be a
You know what I mean?
great
Because
podcast.
what's that?
That'd be a great podcast.
But
I don't think
because,
they'd be
like,
able to do it.
yeah, they probably wouldn't do it. I have a feeling that they probably don't make money on number of bats sold.
No, it's probably
just a
rights
deal.
to their name.
Yeah, they just make a deal. It's a flat amount, and then like, I don't know, because
What
Yeah,
would you
'cause
rather do? Would you
you
rather
sell-
have it rights to your name or percentage of bats sold overall?
Am I getting a new contract every year? So
Let's
that
say
I
it's a
can
3 year.
negotiate.
Let's say it's a 3-year deal.
3-year deal.
hypothetically.
I want royalties on a 3-year deal. If it's year by year, I am fine getting a lump sum because then when
Yeah,
if
that
my
makes
bat
sense.
does well, I up the next contract.
Okay. Fair enough.
it's just tough because the bat situation. I mean, now it's probably a lot easier than it was way back when bats stunk. Right now, you can pick up any bat and it's going to be good.
Literally.
So yeah, like you can pick up literally any bat and it's going to be good at some point.
It's
in
all
its
what
lifespan.
do you want? Yeah, you get your whatever barrel or bat specifications you want, and go from there. Like, do you like a 12-inch end load? I like a 13-inch end load. Coco, you're a 13-inch end load guy too. So like, cool. Now any 13-inch end loader, let's go. Although I've started swinging some 12.75s, and now it's like, all right, maybe try that 12.5. Is that too short? Like, just start playing around. But every fucking bat these days are going.
Yeah, they're all really, really, really good.
What's the
So-
difference between like the hottest bat out the wrapper to like the least hottest bat out of the wrapper? 5?
That's
you know what I mean?
what-
6?
Throw the hammer in there, and you will see the difference.
It also comes down to a lot more like at the end of the day, like how durability do you want your bat to last longer? You know what I mean? Like I don't think I've ever looked at, and no offense to any of the guys who have bats, I don't think I've ever looked at a bat and been like, I need this guy's bat.
No.
No, but I think
I guess I'm just not.
If you looked at social media, you could see it. Like when Flip's bat was coming out, we're boys on IG. You know that. People, when he was starting to do that, a ton of comments came out so excited for his bat.
Yeah.
Like I had his bat last year, loved it. It's illegal now. But it is. It's got the handle. But I loved it, but I didn't give a shit. Again, it's a 13-inch half-ounce end load. I'm on it. Like that's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I've tried swinging your Proton, which I really would love to swing right now, or have you on the podcast. Like I just don't like a balance bat. So like when I swing your Proton balanced, it's just I've been swinging end loads now for however many years and however many swings. I pick up that balance and it's like, ooh, this is weird.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man, like these bats these days are just, you're right. You pick them up and they're good to go.
I don't think it's just softball either. I think
it's everything.
Coop's got a cat 6 Marucci. That thing's really opening up.
Is he in farm? He's a cat 6 Marucci. He's in farm.
We got it for T-ball last year.
Did you get shaved? Did you roll it?
I didn't have to. Just took it out to a telephone pole.
I literally went and got the Easton. It's like an Easton T-ball bat. I'm pretty sure is what it's called. It's orange. Everybody else has it. Hayes is out here getting his kid a fucking Marucci Cat 5.
He's like, I saw this on Baseball Bat Bros. They say it's fucking launching
He's got it in the fucking.
It's on the way.
In the living room. You've got it in the living room, hitting a weighted ball against the couch with it, breaking it in on all sides.
Is that what I saw you taking BP with the other day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's heavy for me. No, you brought up durability. I bought a bat that I thought would last he'll use it for 2 or 3 years. His brother will use it.
Yeah.
And I trust Marucci in a baseball bat, so I went with it.
How bad is T-ball?
It's so bad.
Dude.
So I had to like jump in a little bit as the coach because these people, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Tough.
They try. It's just parents trying. And I didn't want to because I saw how soccer went with the coaches at soccer and like their kids just, it didn't seem like the kids were having fun. So I was like, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to tell my kid what to do. He's not going to do it. And he's not, then he's just gonna, it's just gonna be a bad scene. But
we finally almost happened in our last game. Cooper's like stopped running hard and he hit a ball and got out at first and he didn't run hard.
He's Cadillacing it.
And immediately he got to first, was out, and he like turned around and the helmet came down and covered his eyes. I didn't even say anything to him. He just like went into the dugout and started crying. And I was like, it's begun. And I was like, hey, so we talked last game about running. I did run. And it's like,
oh boy.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you did, but yeah, no, I think soccer, at least like running around aimlessly is part of that at 5 and 6 years old. Baseball, it's like, please stop digging in. No, please don't dig a hole. You're going to trip over it. And then bam, they trip over it. It's awful.
Yeah. My kid was just building like sand piles. And I'm like, we can't have practice at a baseball field.
Yeah.
Which is crazy anyway. Goffstown is go ahead.
5:45 to 7:45 on school nights for 5 and 6 year olds.
What?
And one of the games, the other coach, I went over and I was like, hey, it's like 7:25. I have a bunch of young kids on my team. I think we're pretty good. They're over there like swinging on a pole and they've started to refuse to come out in the later innings. They're just like, can I sit this inning?
I love that move.
I don't have
Everybody's in
EH. I don't have enough people to play the field. The other coach is just looking and waiting. I'm like, we'll play with 8. Just go. This isn't a big deal. And the coach is like, yeah, all right, that makes sense. All right, guys, we're going to do one more inning. I was like, that did not come out of my mouth. That's not what I just talked to you about.
I don't know if I have 2 hour. I didn't have 2 hour practices in Little League as a like 10, 11, 12-year-old. I didn't have that long of practices. And I got way more out of them.
Once in season, I didn't do that with high school. There was no reason.
No.
I coaching
Wow.
this age group is 1,000 times harder than coaching high school.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
so
the kids-
hard, and I
because
don't
the
want.
kids are doing like literally
The moon's out, Corey. Like,
anything
obviously.
else.
It was a red sun
Literally
tonight. I looked at
anything
it.
else.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was so. It's
My
Holy
only
shit.
hope, because I didn't want him to play t-ball,
mhm.
but he wanted
Is
to.
he 5
The
yet?
kids, yeah, he's 5. I didn't.
Oh, he
want
just
him
turned
to,
5. Yeah.
In
In the winter.
Christmas.
December, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't want him to, just because it's like I know the game, and I know for kids it's super boring. But-
Okay. Way to brag.
I'm just
Know the
saying, like,
game.
for
know.
for kids nowadays, like I feel like every kid has ADHD, probably. They're all doing other shit. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
At
I
3
don't
years
know.
old, this is. I feel bad for him. Like Denny is out there every time he misses the ball on the tee because of watching baseball. He has to. So he's the culprit. He has to step out of the box. But he
tap
doesn't
his
even.
shoes.
He doesn't
True.
even go out of the box. He goes behind the plate, hits his bat down hard on the ground twice, takes a practice swing where he almost spins himself around, and then gets back in. And if he misses 3 times, he goes through that every single time. And then he starts dancing because they don't stop playing music. So he's just out there dancing in the outfield. I think he just wants to dance.
He sounds like me at fucking league. The music's playing. I'm out last night just fucking vibing, having a day. I also they were feeding me cookies, and Dustin took care of me at BP on Thursday, so my fucking 0.96 inches was fucking feeling large last night.
I gotta say, Hayes, it's impressive that your 3-year-old is better than any of the kids on our team.
How? Why is
Just
it
the
better?
fact that he has a routine.
Oh
I,
no,
I
but
had to show these kids how to hit off of a tee. Like I was like all the, like they just get right on top
Yeah.
of it, and then they swing and hit the tee. And I'm like, why don't you step back? And when you swing, it's gonna hit the ball. Like
mean,
you're
don't-
gonna hit the bat.
don't get me wrong. He still was in downward dog digging a hole, playing first base.
But it sounds like
He's
he's got
stretching.
himself a routine, and that's really all you need.
It's,
you can
it's
look like you know what
80%
you're
head
doing.
up.
Yeah, you're good.
Fuck. Yeah, coaching. God bless. And the worst part about coaching at that age, you can't bring a cup. You can't bring a cup and watch your child play.
No.
You got to be ready to coach. Like you got to be on the field. I got to tell you, like it's been a long time. I miss High D on the you whatever you did tonight, you did the right amount.
One sip. Yeah.
Yeah, do one sip on next Tuesday too, because this is the right amount for you. Whatever one sip entails, like you've got it going, baby. I love
I
this.
can do.
love
Yeah,
it.
I'll just keep going all over the place. That's what you guys like. You guys like me talking about literally anything and everything.
Every once in a while, I think you've frozen because you just freeze.
He is
Because
frozen
it
every
just stopped.
once in a while.
I'm
I do
freezing
like
over
the.
here?
No,
Oh,
it's just
no,
Corey.
Hayes was freezing earlier.
Oh,
So is
it's-
J-Ro. I see what you guys did.
that
That was good though. I think you guys both had it.
So, well, we're here a lot with each other. We love each other. So we got a big weekend coming up. Hey, first off, I want to dive into something we talked about this morning. So we talked about this early when we saw the Beast get split up, and I felt the whole time, I'm like, July 8th feels like a weird date for the Upper Beast, right? Like it just. Something about it just didn't fit right with me. I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm like, what is it? Didn't really know. And it's the weekend after the PIF. Well, what's the weekend after the PIF?
The Smokies.
Thank you. Corey, that was a fucking wide open lane for you, buddy.
I thought we were letting the audience chime
Yeah, the audience. Was listening on.
I was waiting for him.
So it's
one
too
said
bad.
anything, so.
And especially this year where we have 2 conference B teams in the area, 2 of the 3, being in, Mass, actually in Mass. It's unfortunate they're not going to be able to make it, or at least I'm assuming as much because they'll be at the Smokies. Why else wouldn't you be in there's 2 events only conference teams can play in. Why wouldn't you go to that? And the Beast is great, and I get that it's so. Here's the question. It's got the Beast of the East is a big tournament around here in the upper northeast in New Hampshire. It's an open, and they broke it out into an open division and then a D and E division. I kind of wish they would blend the D and E, but it's gotten too big. It's gotten big because the fields just are all over the state. It's almost like the Firecracker with not as many fields. Should there be a cap? Should you keep it all on the same weekend? Like, what do you guys think? I'll hang up and listen. First time, long time.
I think it would make sense to do 2 weekends. I think do the D and the E, blend those ones, put them in the same tournament or at least the same pools. Just you can put everybody in the same pools, and then because that was one of the cool things about that, and we've seen this before, is like I think with some of the teams in the Firecracker, the D teams, upset that they can't make that gold bracket or
silver.
Someone can't break into the silver. No, D can break into the silver.
You're right. Can't break the gold. You're right.
They can't break into gold, which I mean, that's kind of what gave us that little extra boost to play up, Coco, right? Like we were like, holy shit, this is what softball is.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. I can remember when I first started playing in the Beast, it was everyone was all together. And one of the years I was on an E team and we finished in third and we just got absolutely pumped by like gold rarities in the loser bracket finals. But we also had to get through old team. I think it was out of Maine, Sickle and Hammer. Like we had to beat some of the teams that were good D, lower, and we had to do that. And it was a cool feeling. It's actually where I met Abood. We started calling him. He said to our faces, like, I'm a 5-tool player. So we called him 5-tool, but like we started playing against good competition.
You should have called them 6-tool because that's the tooliest thing I've ever heard somebody fucking say.
You don't know Abood.
No.
That's so Abood. And
the only thing I know about Abood is him and I both have drop foot.
Yeah.
I've met him a couple times.
He didn't have it yet. But I mean, it was just really cool. We went out there and it was a full weekend. You knew that going into it, and you just went out and you tried to do what you could. And if you did well in your pool, you upset a team, you find yourself in a better position, and you went from there. I do like that. I like that we had that down in the Firecracker. It's not make or break, but it does kind of stink that if you go out and have a great weekend, you don't even have a chance to get up in the gold. Right. We've talked about it before. As an upper level team, you probably don't want to be playing that E team that upset someone, but they upset. They earned it, in my opinion.
How about but look at this last 2 years, right? Like you had that A team beating Platinum Fire last year at the Razorback. And there was the BB4L, Big Booty for Life, out of North Carolina, almost beat Resmondo at the battle at the beach in Myrtle this weekend. Like, so at the end of the day, it's still underhand, right? Like we always say it's always the fucking thing, but realistically it is. If you get hot at the right time, things go the right way, you can beat anybody.
Yeah, and you have to think, though, that the overall feedback is that people do not agree with what we're saying, because obviously in the last few years it feels like that everyone's kind of moved to that kind of that setup, at least, and it makes it, even in the Challenge Cup, like you're playing just other C teams, it's really making those pool games mean absolutely nothing in a lot of sense.
I said it. We were talking about, I say it on here. We were talking about, I think I was at the Ville. We were at the Ville. I think we were at BP or something. And I'm like, who gives a fuck about pool? I'm like, go 1-1. Like, who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter. I'm like, take a look to see where, like, here's the only thing. Here's your incentive. See what time the 2-0 team plays and what fields they're at. See when the 1-1 team plays and what fields those are at. That's it. Like, who gives a fuck? 1-1 is your goal in pool play in one of these tournaments, depending on, especially when it's broken up into divisions, because from then on out, you're going to face the same teams. It doesn't matter. If I'm going to be, like, let's take the Beast for East, an instance. If I go 2-0 and I'm at Riverside and Rochester, but if I go 1-1, I'm at Alumni in Portsmouth, guess what? I'm okay with going 1-1. Be at the best field in the state. I'm okay.
Was it Jared? Was it last year where we were at the Firecracker? We went, well, I think 2-1, like 3 teams split. We had no idea who was going to be in what level. We knew we couldn't get to gold no matter what. And then I think we ended up playing Max as our second game. We both lost our first game, and they just put 2 pools in with each other. That I did not like.
That
And
was awful.
I'm sure that has to do with travel and everything, but it was literally the one played the 2 and of each of them, and then winners played each other. So we just played Maxes immediately again anyway. That gets frustrating.
Well, and I know during the E tournament in New Hampshire, I heard this is what I heard. I think it was this year. No, it was at that E tournament I was at. I was in Londonderry, and a team lost, and they had to go to Mines Falls, which is not easy. It's in Nashua, and it's from where they were playing. It's probably a 25-minute drive, 25-minute drive, and then it's another 5 to 10-minute walk down to the field. And if it's busy, it can be a 10 to 15-minute walk. The umpire there just started calling balls because they weren't there on time or near the time. And it's like, our whole team just left Londonderry.
Yeah.
We're coming here like you have a 20-minute travel. And I understand why JB did that. Did I love it? No, not at all. Like, we come down and play in the Cracker. I don't care about getting to the Plex. Like, yes, I want to get to the Plex. If you want to get to the Plex, win. I just didn't want to play fucking teams we already played.
Right. And that's wild. So I don't know what the timing was, because usually Ryan, whoever's running the New Hampshire tournaments, does put in an extra travel window. So I wonder if a field got behind. I'm not agreeing with what the umpire did, but usually there is a random like half an hour window built on top.
Again, I was probably half in the bag. I was probably on the Dairyfield deck. I didn't really do too much research onto this one. It's just what, again, allegedly, we're getting those tight tops.
We're going
allegedly.
back. Yeah, we're going back to we're saying stuff, but
we don't know.
It wasn't
shit.
us that said it.
This is true. Like, we're just relaying information.
Yeah.
No, but I always love playing up. I always love playing that C tournament. I love playing it. Oh, here we go. Couldn't find the field. Showed up 25 minutes after the game was supposed to start. So in the directions to the field. I don't know if the location.
It went to a
was
different
right,
parking lot.
Yeah, which there are 2 parking lots at Mines Falls.
There are multiple parking lots at Mines Falls. It brought them to Stellos. That's right. I saw snacks after.
Yeah,
it brought them to
Stellos
because that's an entrance to Mines Falls.
Oh man,
there's an entrance,
and that was on the
Falls.
league, and that was on the venues for the league site.
They said that they used the site.
Holy
they used the address
shit.
that they had, so it brought them to Stellos. And they're not far. None of these are far apart. But there's another one over off of Ledge Street. There's the 5A entrance. You can get
one
there.
next to the UPS.
Yep. There's the one that's up off exit 6 off Broad Street.
Yep.
That gets you in through Lincoln. There's a ton of different entrances.
We had the same issue when we played there, when we played the Wolverines to start the C tournament and won. Sorry, Manolo. Venuti was like, drop me your location. He goes, we're fucking 10 minutes away from the field. So, but no,
But
I would
realistically,
I would love to
everyone
see that.
has like a phone they can look at and be like,
They used
Venuti.
Venuti
I know, but you
used
can
the
open the
phone.
map and be like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a softball field right there.
I don't know,
Yes
Mines
and no.
Falls
Like,
field
you
is
have to
off
go in a.
that.
Clean it up, boys. Look at your phones, for crying out loud.
Hi D, I love it. But yeah, no, I think I'd like a cap. You know what? And there's some good fucking there's some E teams that are probably saying the same thing. Wish we could play more D teams. How do you make that work? I don't know. It's a tough mix because this year, let's say Pro Action comes down from Quebec, you get chosen to come up. Do they want to fucking see a D team?
I think those, yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I'm not saying yes, they would, but I'm saying
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But at the same time, though, like, man, if there's a D team that's gonna get into that tournament, I'm gonna say do it every single time. If I'm one of those teams, of course, it's better for the game in general. But
let's play the eighth.
and you play, and you're, making that tournament bigger, which it's now we're already taking 2 teams away.
Yeah.
So we could, I mean, and it really sucks because this year, I mean, look at this tournament this weekend. There's 18 B and C teams in the Open. Like that's
You got
crazy.
some great teams. You got you guys, you got LFT, you know, AZ Roofing, RDD, Reloaded. You've got PF and Paloli Brothers.
The
Conference
the four B teams.
GTP checking. Like, fuck.
3 B teams in this one.
Hold on, I had it sorted by points. So you
Yeah, I
got
think-
Chosen, who's men's B, and then you got 2 conference B teams, 3 D teams, and the rest are all C. Like,
Yeah. So I mean,
and you got
look at-
Juno coming up from Jersey too. You got them. You got Chiefs.
You know who's on that team, right?
JSI. Oh yeah, Sloots.
You know who's
Sloots
that
is on
team?
Juno.
Yeah.
Fuck, maybe I do have to come down.
Hey, come on down. It's gonna be raining for everybody.
My phone's not ready for rain. I know.
But we are. We will be at the Plex.
Hey,
I did
JB.
type in Mike
Rain.
Falls. It brings
JB,
you right to the field.
Open
Yeah.
up.
I'm telling you right now, like, here's the other thing. Like, the phone number is also there for the director usually. You could just call the director or anyone. If you can't
Call
find a field,
anybody.
like,
Here's the thing I love. I love that the New Hampshire guys are the ones bitching about they couldn't get to my
That's crazy.
Falls. Wasn't the main team, wasn't the Mass team, it was the guys from fucking Manchester.
Now, if you look at the map, you cannot see that there is a softball field. It's just a big green blob because it's.
Well, if you put on satellite though, you can.
Yeah, that makes sense too. We're trying. Every time we try, we come up
I'm
with
gonna
another
look.
reason
I'm
why it
looking
doesn't
right
make
now.
sense.
Dustin, where are you guys staying Friday? Because are you staying Saturday? You're gonna come home Saturday night, right?
yeah, I'm coming home Saturday.
I might just go to Jaffrey because I got a live free golf tournament on Sunday in Jaffrey, New Hampshire. I might have to talk to the wife. If it's gonna be an inch
you
of rain though, that's
scramble.
gonna my phone's not gonna hold up. I would show up for the last 4 or 5 games.
It's a good last 4 or 5 to show up for,
If
right?
it wasn't raining, I definitely would. We'll talk about it. We'll see. We'll maintain. Hey, our ladies from Chaos, they had another fucking night. Now, do these women's conference teams, do they just all they do is show up and play fucking duels?
Yeah,
Like,
We said it last year,
Yeah.
or at least I remember talking about it at some point last year. Like
sure it wasn't last week.
yeah, we did this
Could've
a
been
couple
last
weeks.
week.
It was a couple weeks ago because
a couple
I was
times.
there for it.
Yeah. Conference events should just be added. You should add one day to it and just do 2 tournaments every time. They should just almost all be duels. Maybe not some of the most like the Smokies isn't going to be a duel,
Right.
right? Maybe make some of them like that, like where it's like, okay, these are like the cool ones.
Prestigious
whatever.
ones. Cool.
Yeah. The cool ones. Only the cool ones are just singles.
What if you do
Uh,
what if you do now if you're starting to do duels, do you get paid double?
That's a great question.
Time and a half.
Hey,
Is it? But are you paid by the
send us-
weekend?
Yeah,
or
send
by
us
the
over here.
tournament?
Fuck, why can't I do it? There you go. There it is. Whoop. Nope. There we go. Send us a text to that. We don't know who the fuck you are. Send us a number. Send us a text. How many? No, your other hand.
I have it this way, yeah.
Send us a text. If you get paid to play, let us know how that fucking works out because. Ooh.
I wanted a hand. I wanted you to use your
I
hand.
wonder if I could do
How
this.
am I gonna
right?
do this? Hold on. Shit.
You-
Oh, there
other
we go.
side.
Yep.
And
No,
it's
No,
not
it's
coming
not
through your
working.
green
Oh,
screen.
wait.
that's not working. This is making for very good audio too.
That was
Oh, the
weird.
Spotify people are gonna be
We
like,
just
"Holy fuck, what
touch each
happened?"
other's hands ever so slightly, and then yeah,
Dustin, I'm coming for you.
you're on the other
Watch
side.
It's the 2 gorillas.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, there we. Wait, I think I got it. This side of my green screen's fucked. But no, thanks for everybody. Honestly, and Chaos, thanks for the shout out after the weekend.
They love you.
We
They
have fun.
Absolutely love you. Yeah.
We have a blast watching y'all. Like I didn't. Here's the big thing when it comes to Chaos this weekend. I didn't propose to any of them.
Proud
I
of you.
didn't say I
There you
wanted
go,
to
buddy.
love them forever and take them away. Like so, I was
I don't
pretty
know
good.
if you've ever said take them away. Like let's not.
Listen, that one night,
Incriminate yourself.
that one night, I might have said some shit.
I like this is maybe 5 minutes after, 10 minutes after. I do like spending time with my wife.
Oh yeah, I mean she's great.
Right,
She
but-
knows. She's
Yeah,
fine.
if
She's
he's
fine.
taking someone away, I think Amanda's going with them, right?
She's calling
in,
pebbles.
in on that. Hey Amanda, you in on that?
Right. Is
She's, she's watching Naked and Afraid. She's like, shut the fuck up.
this seems.
But
we
no,
were talking
but-
about it earlier.
Yeah.
Naked
But
and
Chaos,
Afraid.
thanks for everything. We'll see y'all in Nashville. Well, hypothetically. And thanks. And I think it was Maddie. It was either Maddie or Shelby, or it was one of them. No, it was Taylor Lee. Taylor Lee said they're PG-18, which is the best rating we've got. That's being generous. We're PG-18.
PG-18.
Yeah.
Like we make a lot of jokes that like 18-year-olds would think is funny, like a lot of
We're
fart
18. We're R-rated instead of PG-13.
Okay.
jokes. Okay, we're PG.
I thought you said
PG-18.
PG-18, and I was like, do they golf on the days they're not playing?
I am in for that as well.
We're on the PGA team.
Yeah.
We made
But
it.
that was good. And congratulations, though. Did you see Alyssa Derrick is now a DeMarini?
DeMarini. Yeah.
Yeah, the Gazelle.
Nice job.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I didn't realize how fucking tall she was. She's like 6'2".
Have you seen any of their pictures?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did, but like
She
I
towers
started,
over all of
We,
them.
we
I'm
had
starting
this
to put two
conversation, I
and
don't
two
know.
together.
That tall
I'm
people are
quitting.
taller
I got,
than other
even I got that she
people.
was tall, and I don't know anybody.
I knew. I knew
Tall
she
people
was
are
tall.
Usually taller than others.
But
Around-
like people say to me, and I'm like, I'm not tall. I look at Alyssa, and I'm like, holy fuck! Like I start seeing it, and then I did the research. I think she's 6'2". Also, Mama Derek loves to watch the podcast, the live streams.
We're
Which-
big in the parent community.
God bless her. Yeah, God, your parents are fucked if they're listening to us. But yeah. So them, and then I do have to drop a shout out to Verb. He has this one fake in his arsenal that I fucking love. It's the one where he's on the rubber and he completely comes off like he's pitching normally, comes and then spins back, but it's a complete fake. Like it's his entire pitching motion. but he
Oh
holds
yes,
onto
we
the
talked
ball.
about this. Yeah,
Yeah, I fucking
it's a whole follow
love
through
that.
and everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
if I was facing Verb and he started doing that to me, I would just load up and try to slap the ball over Bones' head. Like that's it. Like fuck, I'm not gonna try and swing at you if you're gonna do that shit. But no, it's good. We good? What a fucking.
If
It's
you're
felt
good,
like a
I'm good.
mix of like an off-season episode and like some
This is what
softball
happens
talk.
when you take one sip of pink lemonade.
We
with
hit
a
all
little
ages.
bit of THC in it.
You know what, D? Next week I'm gonna touch my blueberry cobbler in the fridge.
Is it a blueberry cobbler?
Actually, I think I'm on the cinnamon one. I think it's an apple pie. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm going to join you.
There we go.
I might drink the whole 25. No.
Oh, dear Christ.
No, I can't.
Don't do it on a Tuesday.
No, I'll fucking fall. I'll do it right before the show and just see how long it takes to hit. And then I'll
The-
just take
The
Wednesday off.
progression of
Pot's going up on a Tuesday.
So, have a great week. We'll see y'all next
See you,
week.
everyone.
see ya.